Hi, I'm Jacob Daus. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and this is my Outskirts of Bastogne mock. So I'll kind of start taking you through it. So on this side, we got the Americans entrenched with their foxholes, and then on the other side, we have the advancing Germans with their armor coming up. So I'll kind of start going through some of the details we got. So up here in the tree, we have a supply drop. So during the siege of Bastogne, there was terrible weather, and they needed to really supply the 101st airborne troops that were encircled. But finally, the weather broke, and they were able to fly in supplies and airdrop as many as they could. But the supplies kind of went everywhere. So they went to the Germans, went to the Americans, kind of got lost. So we have this one strung up in the tree here. We do also have the injured being dragged away from the firefight. We have back here, we have a 37 millimeter anti-tank gun being loaded to take down the Panther. May not be effective, but they're going to do their best. We also have the captain here with his map, and we actually took a real-life map of the siege and shrunk it down. So if you zoom in, you could see all the little details. We also have a Willys Jeep there. And a little bit further, we have a Easy 8 Sherman kind of coming up the flank to kind of support the troops as well. What else? Little kind of Easter eggs we got throughout. We got our hockey players, St. Louis Blues hockey players, since we're from St. Louis. We also got our German snowman. Kind of don't know who built it. Maybe the Americans built it to kind of taunt the Germans. We also have our German Shepherd over here with some yellow snow. And we also got our Star Wars snow trooper right here, kind of coming up the rear to kind of help the Germans out. And we also got our disguised tree man over here, kind of observing the battle.
Some great camouflage.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody will be able to see him.
One thing I love about this build is your landscaping, the trees, and then even the way you did kind of the dirt that's blown up above the snow. So talk a little bit about some of those details.
Sure. So at least I'll start with the foxholes. So the foxholes, we actually started with those. We kind of built all this hill around the foxholes, and then we kind of started there and built the hill around it. For these, I started with the mock with just one base plate, with just one crater, and then we were like, well, we could probably make it bigger. So we kind of do these craters where we start with like a dirt layout with brown pieces, and we kind of build out with the slopes on all sides.
And then what about the trees? You've got a variety of designs in there.
So I'll talk about the pine trees. So this destroyed tree right here, this one is built with a modified 1x1 bricks, and you stack these older plant pieces to the side to kind of give that illusion that it's kind of going up. For some of the other ones, you have your kind of classic tree design here with your 2x2 rounds, and then you put your leaves in it. These ones you use hinge pieces to kind of fold down, and that allows you to kind of get that sloping down effect. And then these ones are very kind of similar, but you're going up this time, so it actually folds up like this. So again, different tree designs, because a forest wouldn't have just one tree, it'd have multiple different trees in it.
And then what German vehicles do we have over here?
Sure. So over here we have the Panther Ausf G, so kind of a later war variant, and this kit I believe is designed by Brickmania as well. This back here is the half-track, German half-track, and it's also designed by Brickmania as well.
Take us through some of the minifigures you've got on both sides as well. I know that you've got a ton of detail throughout this.
Yeah, so originally we kind of had just a few Germans. They used the Brickmania sticker packs, and so we decided to outfit them with Brick Arms vests and helmets. For the Americans, at least, they have a Minifig Co. Spade helmets, which is supposed to kind of represent the Easy Company of the 101st Airborne. They also have their 101st Airborne patches on their right side as well for almost all the American figures. But the Germans and Americans both have Brick Arms vests and helmets. For the weapons, we tried to use as many perfect caliber Brickmania weapons as they give the most detail and allow us to kind of express the most realistic way.
Now, you don't see a whole lot of landscapes with snow like this, using a lot of white pieces. So were there any challenges in terms of finding the right pieces for that, and how do you build with that versus maybe your brown or tan, some of those things we typically see?
Perfect. Yeah, great question. So especially here on these hills over here, these sloped pieces right here, we only had 2 of them at the beginning, and we wanted to get that sloping hill effect because we didn't want to do something like this where these stair-step effects. We've done that before, but they just got very bland and boring because it was all just white. So we decided to use these sloping pieces, which we had to source from Bricklink and other places. But again, the white, you have to break it up. That was the biggest challenge, is that if you had just white plates, it looks okay, but it's just very bland. It's just very boring to the eye. So we had to kind of break it up, and that's kind of shown throughout with either rocks or the different dirts or the craters. Any of that kind of helps break up the snow.
That's a really good point. What was your research like for this build? Obviously, the Battle of Bastogne, very, very strategic, very important. So talk a little bit maybe more about the battle and what your research was like for this part of the build.
Sure. So we were definitely inspired by Band of Brothers. Me and my dad, we all watched the whole series multiple times. It was gave us good inspiration from the American perspective of what it was kind of like. And then once we kind of decided what mock we wanted to do, we kind of looked at some source imagery, and we looked at pictures, different things that would kind of allow us to start to kind of see what the terrain was like and what it was kind of like from both perspectives of what the battle kind of engulfed and happened into.
Very nice. Well, great work on that. But you've also got another kind of armored vehicle build next to that. So what do you have here?
So this is called the Den Mother because it takes care of its cubs. I didn't come up with the name myself, but we kind of based it on kind of old pre-war multi-turreted land battleship designs of World War II. And I kind of took a modern spin on it. So we also have, so because of that, we got it like mounted with miniguns. It's got 2 turrets. It's got troop access in the back here coming out. So again, taking that idea and kind of modernizing it.
With some great minifigures as well.
The bodies are from Forest Moon bricks, and then you got brick arms and brick arms, headgear, and minifig hat, like night vision, and it's just great. They look very professional. Yeah.
So do you have ideas for other kind of military builds like this in the future? Do you typically do World War II or other kind of eras that you're interested in?
So this is actually my first World War brick and my first real mock. So I was kind of thinking about that myself as well. So I can either build onto this or kind of do something else. I've kind of done like timelines in the past where like mini mocks of like a timeline of World War II. So maybe building on that or doing something bigger would be actually a lot of fun. I would enjoy that.
Well, excellent work. I'm so glad you can make it out to World War Brick here, and thanks for taking us through the builds.
Thank you, guys.